We can run down.
They'll wait for you to respond there. There's almost a 15-second lag. Right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds. All right, let's see what we got going on.
So if you want to see yourself, maybe control yourself from OBS.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Okay, let me move this around here. Control OBS. Yeah, I can see myself. That would be better. Yeah. So, oh, Chuck, how you doing today, sir? Just trying out some new software and stuff. Make sure we've got everybody.
Back to OBS because we figured what was crashing the software.
Hey, Mr. Nito, we're back to OBS. We've actually figured out what was crashing the system, so that's good. So, hey Chuck, can you give me a thumbs up if you could hear me all right on this? All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Big Poppa. This is Into the Derbyverse. It is Tuesday night, election night, 2018. Hey, just wanted to run down the happenings of the weekend, see all the action we've got. We've got some stuff going up north and things going on down south, and have to say over the weekend it was a pretty exciting weekend. So let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to actually start up north, up at Fault Line Derby Devils. They took on the Derby Republic at Bolado Park Event Center in Tres Pinos. Basically, the lead bounced back and forth throughout the bout, and there was never more than a few points, even down to the final two jams. In the second to the last jam, Fault Line was trailing Derby Republic when the jammer for Derby Republic was sent to the penalty box, giving the power jam over to Matty Longlegs. If you've ever seen Matty Longlegs jam, they are right up on that line. You give Maddie just a few inches, she'll take that entire mile from you. So that basically gave Maddie from Fault Line the control there, bringing up more points. Maddie actually did double jammer action, basically returned to the jammer line on the last jam, was able to cinch the lead jammer, scored the go-ahead points as the time ran out on the clock, and went ahead and called it, and actually helped Fault Line secure the win over Derby Republic, 192 to 186. Just 6 points difference on that. Came down to the final jam. Now, I want to thank a couple people for giving us that information. Nia Vong, I went ahead and posted their photos over on the Into the Derbyverse Facebook page. Great pictures there. I mean, it did some really great pictures there. I want to give kudos out to Nia for that. Also, great things on the track itself. It looked really neat. It was a non-polished cement track, so most of the skaters were using the hardest wheels that they had. But just the venue itself, you had the fans sitting under like a wooden cover. It almost looked like a shed type thing, but it was really neat. So I have to actually take my time to get up there and take a look at that. Also, a shout out to Pinball. Pinball and Moonshine was doing double action as the announcers for that event. And also Bega Burrows, want to give a shout out to Bega for helping us with the score and getting everything taken care of there. So that was a great bout. Again, nail biter came down to the last seconds on that, so that's always a good thing. One of the things we talk about too is when jams are that close, at the end of it, how endurance plays into it. You know, you get tired, you get foul trouble or anything like that. But this one here was just a nail biter through and through. So a really good job on that. Also with Derby Republic, this actually saw the return of Reese Witherspoon to the lineup on the track. She actually retired, kind of did the pseudo retire when she was with Unforgiven. I've known Reese Witherspoon since she was with Unforgiven, when she was with Derby Revolution of Bakersfield, also the Bakersfield Derby Girls, and also one of the first teams that she was on, which was the Radioactive Riot Girls. That was a local team from here in the Lancaster area. I happened to be the coach, so that was really nice to see her back in action. We're going to go a little farther up north. We're actually going to go up to Salem. Now, last week we had talked about the Cherry City teams going up against Humboldt. So the Boneyard Brawlers of Cherry City came off a loss from Root Force of Humboldt and took on Spitfire of Lava City. Lava City is actually out of Bend, Oregon. So just an I-5 bout between Salem and Bend. Now the Brawlers came out swinging and took the win, 226 to 139. So that helped out with those. Those are both of their B teams. The Spitfires for Lava City, they are a new team. That's their B team. And again, new teams for Boneyard Brawlers for Cherry City. That's a new team. So it's good to see two new teams going at it and mixing it up on the track. So that's good. Then we go over to the first annual Sea Star Standoff Tournament. Try to say that 3 times fast. This is hosted by Beach City Roller Derby. This is a 5-team C-level consolation bracket tournament. So let's talk about levels. So most of us know A, B, and C, but for those that are unfamiliar with that, C teams are your new skaters. Those are skaters that have done their local, requirements, their skill requirements, past that, did maybe some scrimmages and stuff like that, and also could have, maybe a bout or two. So they're still fresh. They're still fresh on the tracks, fresh on their stuff. They're rookies. So that's what's really good. Also, sometimes with a C team, you'll maybe see a skater that's trying a new position, like a blocker trying to go into a jammer position. So you'll see that. So this brought out 5 teams. That would be the Sea Vixens from Beach Cities. You also had the Wipeouts of San Fernando Valley, Renegade Rising of the Los Angeles Renegade Roller Girls, Certified Diamonds from Rough Diamond Rebels, and Los Cianos from the San Diego Roller Derby. So they brought that in. What we have for you guys later tonight, I will actually post up on the Into the Derbyverse website. Ill Reverend Mike was there along with Erlich von Hertum, and Ill Reverend went ahead and brought us a great report. I'm going to go ahead and put that up on it. He gives you his insight, how the tournament went. He does a great breakdown. I was really enjoyed it. It's a great read. I'll have that up on the website just quite after, just this evening. So we'll have that up there. But back to the standings. The Sea Vixens from Beach City, they actually defeated the Wipeouts of San Fernando Valley 202 to 157 to take first place. Renegade Rising from Los Angeles Renegade Roller Girls took the win over the Certified Diamonds from Rough Diamond Rebels 128 to 77 to secure third place. And San Diego Roller Derby placed 5th on that tournament. I think that's a great tournament to have. That was the first tournament that we had. That actually helps extend the games that we have. I think this weekend we had more games played, and next weekend we'll have more games played than we had in the prior seasons. So that's, extending the seasons out more. I still think we're going to be, most teams kind of wrap it up by the 8th of December. I think that's one of the last ones that I see. That's when West Coast goes down to take on SoCal Derby. So we have that going on. I was myself up in Ventura over the weekend on Saturday for a doubleheader. I saw the West Coast Junior Knockouts. They took on the Diamond City Miners. What was really good on this was the first junior bout for West Coast Junior Knockouts in the open division. This was a sanctioned JRDA. If you're not familiar with that, that's basically the junior form of WFTDA. This was a sanctioned bout. They have 3 categories, 3 divisions. They have an open division, which would be co-ed. You have a boys division and then a girls division. West Coast Junior Knockouts are a all-girls team, and they are actually playing in the open division over the weekend with the Diamond City Miners. Diamond City Miners are number 1 in the world in the open division. So they had a big showing coming out, so that was really nice to see. In the first period, as far as the jam rotation, Diamond City had 4 jammers in rotation against the Junior Knockouts coming in with 5. Then in the second period, both teams increased their jammer rotation to 6 jammers. You did have at halftime, the score was 171-28 in favor of the Diamond City Miners. And then the final score was 350-57 in favor of Diamond City Miners. Diamond City did take the win. But what was interesting about this is the tenacity of West Coast. This is, again, their first bout in the open division, and they held their own. It was really good. I think there was a good combination of defenders. Number 13, Rocky by Baby, and also 111, Party Crasher, was a solid defense wall. I have to give a shout out to Party Crasher of West Coast Junior Knockouts. She was just hunting down the jammers, knocking people left and right. So I think if I'm looking for a bodyguard, I think it's going to be Party Crasher. That's going to be the bodyguard. Then you switch over to Diamond City Miners. Diamond City Miners they are a solid team. I did not see any weakness or openings that they had. Speed Bryu was just phenomenal in teaming up. There wasn't a single player that stood out on Diamond City Miners. They all played solid. It was a well-cohesive team. They've been playing together for a long time. So when you had it, as far as at the end, you only had 12 penalties for each team. So you had 6 penalties per period per team. So you only had a total of 24 penalties the entire season, the entire match. So that was really good. As far as the MVPs, for the Diamond City Miners, the MVP blocker went by to number 89, Speed Bryu as the blocker. The jammer was number 4, Mini Maniac. And the MVP overall, that was number 54, Amazing, took the overall MVP for the Diamond City Miners. Over on the West Coast side, the best blocker, that was 104, Scars and Stripes. The best jammer was number 24, Honey Badger. Why? She doesn't care. And number 7, the overall MVP was number 7, Bruiser, for the West Coast Junior Knockouts. Now, the Diamond City Miners are going to be back in action next Saturday. We'll talk more about that on Thursday's show. And they're going to be taking on Sodak Attack out of Dakota, South Dakota. And then West Coast Junior Knockouts are actually going to be playing again next Sunday. So we'll talk about more of the junior action that's coming to Southern California. So that'll be really nice to see. Then we switch to the adults. The adults playing. Give me just a second here. I need to get something to drink. So how's everybody doing? 6 Foot Dempsey, my friend, how are you? Good seeing you. Conrad, good to see you there. Miss Bleak, how are you? Good to see everybody there. I want to thank everybody for showing up and doing this. If you can, do me a favor. Just give me a thumbs up if you guys could hear me all right. And also, if you're watching us live or on the rebroadcast, leave a message here as far as a little comment of where you're watching us from. I would really appreciate that. So again, if we haven't met, my name is Big Poppa. I am an announcer and NSO here in Southern California. I've been doing this for going on 6 seasons right now, and I really enjoy this this sport. It is one of my favorite sports. Actually, it is my favorite sport. So we talked about NSOs and stuff. So with that would be NSO would be a non-skating official. You also have skating officials. We typically call them referees, so that's all of our official crews. So we talk about that. Chuck, Mr. Gay was talking about December 8th, which is the annual Naughty versus Nice with Winetown Rollers. And they have another one coming up on December 29th. We'll talk about more of that. On Thursday's show, we've got a lot more stuff coming in. So, but it was really nice with our NSOs. I'm actually going to be seeing a lot more people this weekend and until the end of the month. Hey, Chuck, if you do me a favor, if you get a chance, can you drop the link there for us for the event so we know to get prices and tickets and stuff? I would really appreciate that. We can get that all taken care of for you. So we're going to go move on to the adults. This is going to be the West Coast Derby Knockouts, the TKOs. They came in this ranked on the WFTDA ranking at 208, taking on the Bakersfield Diamond Divas. They were coming in at 154. Remember we talked about a little earlier Fault Lines game, how it came down to basically the last 2 jams? Oh my gosh, this one was amazing. Seriously. It was Diamond Divas came in, started really strong, and then the TKOs, they started matching them, coming back and forth, and then also the TKOs came out ahead. It wasn't until it was like the second period, it was the second period, the 14th jam in on the second period. It was number 30. Actually, I do apologize. That was 007, Blonde Assassin from Bakersfield Diamond Divas. Diamond Divas was trailing TKOs in points in one jam alone. Blonde Assassin was able to get 30 points. A 30-point jam. It really changed that. Typically with that, you get 5 points per pass. You could typically get 20 points in a power jam. She did this by itself. This was natural. This was the 30 points the hard way. And that's what really took swayed the advantage. I think that's where they captured the momentum and kind of stifled TKOs. But not to knock anything from the TKOs, they actually came back up off of that, took the lead again. The lead changes were very, very small. I mean, there's a lot of times where you had the points were tied. There was other times where the TKOs came in with the points and they were unanswered by the Divas. They were able to come in with a jam, get 3 or 4 points, call it off, redo it again, get the lead jammer status, 3 or 4 more points, call it off. So they were really doing great scoreboard and points managing, and also managing that clock. It came down to the last jam. Seriously, the last jam, and I would say the last 45 seconds of the jam, where your winner came out, which was the Diamond Divas. It was a great a great takeaway. So let's talk about this as far as the first period. Bakersfield Diamond Divas in the rotation for their jammers. They had 4 in the rotation. They had Aerial Ambush, they had Fig, they had Reckless Risa, and Blonde Assassin. That was their first period rotation in the jammers. TKOs came in and they were running a 3-jammer rotation, which was Sucrose Overdose, Reapin' Rainbow, and Ace of Skates. Very solid jammers from the West Coast. Then on the second period, they both brought in just 3 jammer rotations to finish out the bout. You still had Sucrose Overdose, Reapin' Rainbow, and Ace of Skates for the TKOs. And the Diamond Divas, you had actually Jordan, number 23, jamming for the Divas, so they basically held her until the second period. You had Fig that was jamming, and then Blonde Assassin. So you had a fresh set of legs there for the Bakersfield Diamond Divas. So that was really great. Let me see if I've got the final score for you. I do apologize. Give me just a second. So up next for West Coast is actually going to be About 4 SoCal Derby on the 8th of December. And then for the Diamond Divas, they're going to go up to V-Town up in Visalia and take on the V-Town Derby Darlings on November 10th. So that'll be a great bout to see. And actually it is the 10th anniversary for V-Town. Give me just a quick moment. Let me grab that final score for you. I do apologize that I did not have that readily available for you. I do apologize. I missed that. Must have missed that out on that. I will actually look that up and have that for you shortly. Or if there's anybody in the chat that has it, let me know what that score was. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Get that going on. All right. Let's see what we have. All right. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is going to be talking about a couple changes that came up in the Derby community. We had talked about the changes for Rose City. Rose City is actually going to go into the championships with a new logo. You had some other changes with the Mainland Misfits. Again, they're coming into the season earlier as Mainland Misfits changed their names over to the Greater Vancouver Area Roller Derby. Now you actually have the Mad Rollin' Dolls are actually changing their names to Madison Roller Derby as of the start of their 15th year. Again, Madison's been going for 15 years. And they're actually just wanting to change the name so people understand how proud of the city that they are, Madison, Wisconsin. So bringing roller derby to Madison, making sure that they've got that. A couple of the other changes that we've got coming on, again, at the end of every season, WFTDA goes ahead and looks at the rules and sees if there needs to be any rule changes. There are three rule changes that we've seen that they have announced on their site. You can go actually to the news section of WFTDA.com and actually pull that up. The first point that you have is the back block. So in the past, just like we've had before, if you are coming in with a back block, so that's basically somebody hitting the person in the back, the skater in the back, and if you came in, did not gain any position, and did not knock the skater down, or cause somebody else to gain position, there wouldn't be a call. There wouldn't be a foul. Now what we're seeing is if you make a forceful hit on a skater in the back, that could be avoidable. So basically you're coming in hot, hitting the person in the back, causing them to move, or just even making that contact, that could be avoided. That will now be a penalty. So basically, I think a lot of times with that's you see a lot of jammers, smaller jammers, and that will be coming into a larger wall and just trying to hit that wall with all their might, trying to move something around. May not be gaining any position, may not be knocking the blocker down or causing anybody else, but making such a, shall we say, a nuisance that opens up that opportunity and the skater can come in. I think that's, they're trying to clean that up. I think that's real good. But again, take a look at the rules, see what they've got going on, and let me know what you guys think. I think it'll be a good addition, a solid addition to have things coming in. So that would be something that, take a look at. The next one that has to do is with a star pass. So currently right now, as we know, the jammer can pass the star to the pivot and the pivot only. That's the only target that they can give to. Now, in times you've got the packs together at a high rate of speed, you've seen the jammer pass the star to a blocker, and the blocker grabs it, just out of necessity or out of reaction. Here, have this, and somebody's taking it. That's the penalty. What they've done to kind of clean that up a little bit is you have an opportunity to deny that accepting that star cover. So I think that's going to be a good thing. Kind of clearing things up as far as when we had that cut track, when we changed that cut track. So basically before, when you cut the track, so basically come out and you didn't recycle yourself through the back of the track, and if you would come in, if you basically didn't crawl your way out and you made any other changes besides crawling out immediately and standing up, you would have been called for a cut track. What they've done since then is they basically said, okay, you could stand up and then make that change. I think this is almost like the same thing here, as far as, hey, I can kind of reach for it, but change my mind and not gain the possession of the star. I think that'll be good. I think that would be really good. Hey, Conrad, thank you very much. That final score was 139 for West Coast, 141 for the Divas. Like I said, a very, very close game. Thanks, Smasher. I really do appreciate that. Let's take a look here. So, again, we covered the back block. I think that's a good thing. I like to see that. We covered the star pass. I think that's going to be a good thing. Then you have the death of the, people call it, quote, the death of the jammer lap point. Basically what's happening is right now you can get 5 points, because if the jammer gains a point for each opposing player that they pass, and that's measured by the hips. So if they gain over that person, past that person, they get a point. That also includes the jammer. A study was done by Code Adam and other officials. I know there was one official out of Gotham that followed up that study. I thought it was good. Basically what's going to happen is they took a look at the high levels play and saw that a lot of times that jammer point wasn't awarded correctly and wasn't awarded unilaterally, being very consistent in making that call, even at a higher level. So basically what they're doing is taking away that last point. They took a look at studies and how is that going to affect other games, or how many games that that has. They took a look over 300 plus points on that. 300 plus games on that. So basically, in a nutshell, they're going to be eliminating that 5 points. So no more high, five in the sky points, no more Grand Slam points. So basically the most that you can get on a pass is 4 points. I really don't think that's going to make much of a change to the game. I think as far as, gameplay and stuff, what I really think it's going to do is really tighten down the rules and be able to call the game consistently, and the rules are interpreted consistently. I think that's what's really going to make a good study. I'd like to know what you guys think. If you guys think, maybe, hey, Big Poppa, you're looking at it wrong, or hey, I'm not too sure about it. I'm really going to do this and just take a, you know how I feel. I think it's going to be good for the game, all in all. The other thing, too, is I want to just take a wait-and-see type thing. We're finishing up the season right now. This doesn't go into effect until January 2019 and doesn't go into effect as a rule set to be called on all games until after, until February 1st. So it'd be really nice to see that. I think you'll see more consistent play as far as calling of penalties. I think you'll see more consistent changes. I think the only major change that you'll see as far as gameplay would be that back block type thing. So that'll be kind of interesting to really see. I want to see how that plays out. Again, Star Pass, I think that's going to be great. Other things that's going to be great. So, but after all that's said and done, let's talk about what's coming up this weekend. It is going to be the championships. 2018 International WFTDA Championships coming up. I went on to the Derbyverse website. Not the website, the Facebook site, and I went ahead and put my predictions. I'm making a prediction on the bracket. I'm making a prediction that Rose City will come in first, Victoria will come in second, and Gotham will come in third. So go up to that, take a look at it. I think there's a link where you could actually take a look at the bracket and make your own prediction. So I challenge you guys. Take a moment, go take a look at that, see what you think. That's where I'm at. I'm not making that prediction out of sheer stats. I really like to see Rose City. I would also like to see Angel City I think they're going to be dominant. I think Angel City will come in mid-pack, maybe a little bit higher up. So that's going on this weekend. So where are you guys watching it? Are you doing a watch party? Or are you just going to sit by your phones and watch it there, or your computer and watch it? So let me know how you're taking in this stuff. One of the questions that I'm going to leave you for the question of the day is this. With the new rule changes that are coming, especially with the 4 points being the most, will you see lower scores, or are you going to see higher scores? So let me know in the comments below. And again, that's the question. With the new rule changes, how do you think that's going to show in the scoring of the game? So again, I will see you again on Thursday, where we're going to go ahead and make our running start to the weekend and show you all the Derby action that are going on this weekend. I have a full boat. Oh my gosh. I will be at Dirt City as Dirt City takes on IEDD for the season closer out in Victorville on Sunday. Then I turn around and have a doubleheader for the juniors going on at the West Coast Derby Knockouts in Ventura. So I'll be posting throughout, and take a look at your West Coast Derby knockouts, see how they do, the juniors, and also with Los Anarchists this weekend. Diamond City Miners. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Again, I will see you guys on Thursday. Please make a chance, if you can, like and share our Facebook site as we kind of wrap up where we're going to transition over to YouTube and try putting roller derby on YouTube that you can see this. So I will see you later on and on Thursday. Again, my name is Big Poppa. It's been a pleasure. Sorry, I've got things going on. I got ADD. So, but again, my name is Big Poppa. It's been my pleasure. We want to thank you very much for watching Into the Derbyverse. And again, keep your friends close and your enemies within 20 feet of the pack. You guys have a great evening.
Sorry, the cards.
No. You're fine.